Today I'm going to talk about Project Whitney, a recent transaction for the Zreco Fund. The transaction is a 15.8 million senior secured development facility, and it will be used to finance the build program of a 51 unit lodge-driven high-end leisure offering set in an area of outstanding natural beauty in the Cotswolds, 15 minutes drive outside of Oxford. The borrower is a company called Kaboo. Kaboo has been what we think is a market leader in this field now for nearly 5, coming up to 6 years. It started with sites in Ireland, has launched one recently in Kent, and has achieved tremendous success with their model. It now has 86% occupancy across its sites, 250,000 Instagram followers. So they're a team that we've known for quite a long time, and they are a team that we've seen operate across challenging cycles and perform well. The first thing I'd like to draw out is the origination source. We've known the borrower, the sponsor, for over 5 years, and it was a transaction that was concluded entirely off market, no auction process. The borrower came directly to us rather than canvassing a broader market process because of the fact that he knows, likes, trusts us, and he gets that we understand what he's trying to do in his particular space. We love the concept. It's a lodge-driven concept, similar, you might say, to something like a Center Parcs offering, but with a far higher amenity spec and a price point that is genuinely deliverable and attractive to middle-class families. The facility will finance the construction of 51 bespoke cabin lodges built in an area of outstanding national beauty in the Oxfordshire countryside. The design that Kaboo has come up with is genuinely inspiring. As well as bespoke cabin lodges, the site will provide for an indoor and outdoor swimming pool, state-of-the-art spa and beauty treatments, a bespoke event studio space, and a fully licensed bar and restaurant offering. And one of the key things we looked at while assessing the business plan was seasonality. Because in England, while it may be beautiful, the countryside may be picturesque, the weather sometimes lets you down. And that's why we spent a lot of time looking at the amenity provision together with Kaboo to ensure that the indoor and outdoor offering is met and that it can genuinely be an all-weather 365-day per year offering. One of the key things when we underwrite any construction or development project is to ensure we have as much clarity on the construction timeline and cost. And here with Kaboo, this was another big advantage in our view of partnering with them. Because everything that they do is in-house, they have a clear line of sight to see exactly how much everything is going to cost, how long it's going to take to build, and crucially, they control that delivery in-house. So from our perspective, we felt that was a significant advantage than relying on third-party construction or contractor firms to deliver the vision. One of the things we really liked about the model was the fact that operating margins are close to 50%. And you compare that to traditional hotel or other leisure-focused offerings where margins are typically in the 30 to 40% bracket. And the reason why they have this enhanced margin is really due to the nature of the model that they've constructed. So the cabins are low density and self-catered. So the headcount in terms of cleaning, maintenance and operations is vastly reduced versus traditional hotel formats. What people are buying is the lodge environment within a beautiful setting. One of the key metrics we look at on every transaction is loan to value. And here we're at just below 53% on a stabilised basis, which we think is a very attractive entry point for our credit. The other attractive feature of the model is the pace of stabilisation and what that means for us as a credit provider. Kaboo's other sites have stabilised within 12 months of operations. What that means is the cash flow that you're modelling and you're hoping will arrive shows up very quickly. And that allows you to have refinancing opportunities as an exit, where traditionally you may have to wait 3 to 4 years until assets are stabilised before you can look at that refinancing exercise as an exit event. So the term of the loan is 30 months, but we actually have modelled repayment after 24 months. But the 6 months is there to allow a buffer for contingencies or slightly longer delay in the business plan execution. It's a senior secured facility, but with additional corporate guarantees and personal guarantees from the 2 main sponsors of the Kaboo group. So we have a broader contractual security package to pursue should a downside scenario arise. And that is one of the things that we're always focused on at Zreco, at Zenzic, is downside mitigation. Principal protection is paramount. So we look at every way where the business plan can fall down and say, what additional means of redress do we have in that scenario? Putting it all together, we feel this transaction is a very good example of what we're trying to achieve with Zreco. Firstly, it's a short-term credit position of between 24 and 30 months. Secondly, it's a high-quality sponsor operating in a nascent sector with huge growth potential. So for us, the Kaboo transaction represented the opportunity to back a seasoned operator who can legitimately say that it's best in class in its niche, and also is something of a pioneer in driving forward a new format of leisure experience for international and domestic tourists.